And Miss Rosa Parks came here with
Yes, she was here maybe 2 or 3 times because we used to have the reverse tour from the south. Kids from the south would come up to the north. Kids from the north would go down south just to experience the difference in cultures.
Absolutely.
And there was a bus accident of which Elaine Steele, who was Rosa Parks' confidant, her nephew died, and from that point on they stopped the tours. But we had games that I don't like saying them because I'll just say we had games that the kids would play, all to do with running away.
Oh, like freedom games sort of things. Teach them how to.
All right, and there's something that's going on, and I don't.
You can't express it. That's
right,
okay.
I just don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so now when Emmett Till's mother came here and Mamie Till and Rosa Parks, do they speak? Do they speak to the congregation? Like what kind of?
Oh, it was our youth. It was a youth thing.
Outreach.
And Scott Jones, my sister Donna Ramsey, was she's a JKSK teacher. And we had a youth group, and $1 million came into the city. And in that $1 million coming into the city, we had to have it for the youth. And we had 25, I don't know how many groups of 25 we had. But the last 25 kids, nobody wanted. I won't say they didn't want them, they just couldn't find somebody.
Someone to sponsor them.
To do, and I said, Don, I couldn't do it because I was working. And I didn't have time because it was the whole summer. And I said, Donna, would you do me one? She said, I've been with kids all year long. I said, but they're not little kids, they're bigger kids, they know how to act. I had to beg her, and she finally gave in, and she said, okay. So they were the theatrical group. We did when Rosa Parks and Mimi Till, when they came, we did a stage production at the Capitol Theater, and we did the bus boycott, and it was just bodies. It was so well done. My only regret is that no one taped it. They also did Why Are You Prejudiced? Why Are You Racist? And
was that like a film or a play?
No, it was what the kids would do, Scott was like Phil Donahue, and he'd go to different people, but it was all
rehearsed.
It was all rehearsed.
Okay.
And he'd go to different people, and they'd say different things and say some derogatory things about blacks and some about white, but it was all within the play.
Okay.
And people started getting itchy and
nervous.
Then we had to say, this is what racism really is. This is the show that really shows them what racism and how ugly it is, and how it can just get everybody spoiled and boiled and angry and full of hate. We need to learn more about love.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you, it was just an amazing thing, but no one had
the taped it.
And then there's a picture of Donna greeting Rosa Parks that the Windsor Star took. Usually I have it here, but I think it's at home because I have to do something for the Southwestern Correctional thing on Black History.
Okay.
And I just wanted to show that she was here.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to share us about this church's great history?
This is a lot of times, I do a lot of tours, and I get people, I know my knees better get better. But this is how it starts. And Dennis Smith did this mural, and this will go into our museum.
Wow.
Starting from Africa, and they've got us bound and chained.
I see the real McCoy up there.
Yeah, we get here, and we're grateful. We get to plow the land because Mr. King gave us 10 acres for $1 a year for 10 years. He gave us 10 acres. Now, some of the people, I don't know who Dennis, they're just people. This is Abraham Shadd.
Okay.
This is Mary Ann Shadd.
I see Mary Ann Shadd,
That's
yeah.
her father, who was an abolitionist with Levi Coffin and Jonathan Cable,
And she was also one of the first school teachers here?
editor of the provincial
Editor.
editor of a paper.
Wasn't she not a teacher
And
as
she
well?
was a
Okay.
school teacher. And this is Henry Bibb, voice of the fugitive. His wife, Mary Bibb, later married her husband's brother,
Oh, wow.
because he died very young.
Right.
And Mary Bibb was a very important figure, which people don't give her credit, but I believe TJ will give her a lot of exposure this year. And he was the first. He could tell people back in Boston. He would send the newspaper saying, "Oh, here at Sandwich we received 15 chickens, 10 hens, but there were no roosters. We need roosters to be sent." And that was telling them that they had the women and the children, but no men. And that would be the code. They had codes in the newspaper. Now, Mary Ann Shadd Carey and Mary Bibb, they always butted heads because Mary Ann Shadd Carey was more, she wanted to teach everybody. Mary Bibb only wanted to teach black.
Okay.
Because she probably felt like we do. We've always been left out. We're always being left out.
Right, right.
So, the real McCoy, and there's his,
Yeah, his piston engine thingy.
yes. It's,
You know about the real McCoy? Well, the real McCoy, you know of the word the real McCoy, right? Well, he invented many things, actually, did he not?
167 inventors, or 267
But his
inventors.
biggest invention was this
Coupler.
little lube
Coupler.
thingy that would, because they would, now you can probably explain it better than me, but they would have to usually stop all the
turn.
time and re-oil these things
Wheels.
and re-keep them all going. Well, he invented this little doodad so that you didn't have to stop and it would keep oiling and all that stuff. So, but later on, I think people started copying him
it,
and things of that
and
nature.
People would say, that's not the real McCoy.
And that's how the real
And
McCoy.
That's how the real McCoy.
Yes.
It's called a coupler. I believe that's what it's called. And my brother Dale says that every ball bearing that has the grease or the oil come from this invention.
That's
the
amazing,
real
right?
McCoy.
Yeah.
And you talked about emancipation. Well, there he is, Mr. Emancipation.
Yeah.
Great man who did a lot. He brought millions of people into this city. And if everybody spent $1, they had millions of dollars, wouldn't you say? And this is the parade. I even was in the parade one year.
Were you? They used to have a beauty pageant, the parade.
everything.
I know our family, the Brownings, were very well known for doing the barbecues and the thing. And when I say barbecue, we're not talking about a little pit. We're talking about gigantic pits with
and you could smell
rows
the
and rows of ribs and chicken and sausage.
And you could smell it for
miles and miles and miles. So I love to hear those stories of my family because we still do big things with barbecues and stuff, so I know where we get it from, right?
And then we have the first heavyweight champion of Canada, and that's Earl Walls.
Earl Walls.
And then we have another relative of ours,
Fred
Thomas. Fred Thomas.
Fred Thomas, yeah.
Park is named after him. And not only that, he still holds some records at Assumption College.
Okay.
Okay. Delois Davis,
Okay.
he first or second lawyer in Lower Canada. His great grandson, Judge Lloyd Dean, first black judge in the city of Windsor, male. He's not here,
Okay.
but he's a relative.
I do know
of
the
his.
name of the deans,
Lloyd
yes,
Dean.
yes.
And his wife, Pastor Green, is married to Lloyd Dean's sister.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So,
this is
moving on to-
Don Abbott. Now,
Yeah.
he was the physician that took care of Abraham Lincoln when he was shot in the head.
Really?
It's Canadian, yes. From
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like that.
him and Mary Lincoln were very good friends.
Okay. Okay. And then we'll move over to this guy.
Okay, and that's this is Dennis, the artist.
Okay, I do know him.
Yes, and he's showing the things, and there's just Rollins?
Yes,
Judge Rollins.
yes, Rollins, yeah, Judge Rollins.
And this is H.D. Taylor, first black trustee at the Board of
Okay,
Education.
okay.
And, you know, they took the school name from him and made it Westgate,
Yeah, they changed it.
which they shouldn't, as far as I'm concerned. Because when that happens, it's taking this man right out of
Yes.
the equation.
Yes.
And Parker,
Yeah, I remember the Parker.
and all the parties he had
Oh,
for the kids.
when we were kids, he had
Everybody.
the best parties at Broadhead Park.
Every summer he spent money for
The
kids.
fire trucks would come and put soap
Yeah.
suds on the ground so we could all, and like black folks, we didn't have pools, we didn't have things like
That's
that.
right.
So that was a big, big deal. And for it to come from a black man, it was just our pride of the summer. It really, really was.
Did the kids, my kids can still say, oh, I remember Uncle Al.
Yeah.
And even when Ron Jones took over it, you know, he tried to keep up.
Tried, yeah.
And then Mr. Max Simpson, he is the co-founder or founder of the Amherstburg,
Black historic.
North American Black Historical Museum, which is now changed to Amherstburg Freedom Museum.
Okay. All right.
So that's the story. That's how the story goes.